Hey everyone, welcome back to Mom Minute. I'm Mindy from Cute Girls Hairstyles. Now, I personally know that one of the most challenging things as a mother is trying to teach your kids healthy eating habits. Life is just so busy and everything is so easy and convenient these days. It's much quicker and faster to just run through and grab a Happy Meal or to hand a cookie to your toddler so they'll stop crying. So when I saw this question, I definitely could relate. Lindsay asks, do you have any advice on how to get kids to eat healthy? I am an extremely picky eater and I do not want my baby to be this way. I'm going to introduce new healthy foods when the time is right, but would love some tips. My first tip, with a big exclamation point behind it, is lead by example. If you're not eating healthy or you're a picky eater, chances are your kids are going to do the same thing. If you think you can live in an environment where you're teaching your kids one thing and you're doing a completely different other, it's just not going to work. The kids are going to watch what you're doing and follow the lead of you. So if you want your kids to eat healthy, you need to eat healthy. If you don't want them to be a picky eater and you want them to try new things, you need to be trying new things. My next tip would be keep fruits and veggies around. Now, by around, I don't necessarily mean just in the fridge, although that's a great idea too. I mean around, like visible, in view all the time. When my kids come home from school, I like to have fresh watermelon on the table or a freshly cut sliced apple or cut celery sticks, something around, because I know as a mom, my kids come home from school, they're immediately hungry. They've been going foodless for several hours. So they're gonna grab whatever is in plain sight. What I want that to be is something healthy, not the cookies or the brownies we made the day before. I am also a big proponent of sending food from home. So when my husband was working out of the home and in his office, I was always advocating sending a lunch with him. And I do the same thing with my kids. I know schools are getting better these days, but I just don't feel like the lunch schools they're providing are as healthy as something I can send my kids with from home. So we always prepare their lunches beforehand. And this is our general rule of thumb. My kids in their lunches get a healthy, an unhealthy, and a main. What I mean by these things are, a main is like the main dish, like their sandwich or their salad or whatever their main item would be for that lunch. And a healthy is they often take two. That's like your carrot sticks, your celery sticks, your apple slices, a fruit, a vegetable, anything like that. Now, an unhealthy in my house is something like crackers or chips. It's not necessarily what we call junks. Junks are for Fridays only. Every other day of the week, they take an unhealthy. So they might take some graham crackers or they might take some cheese nibs or something like that. But they're not going to take cookies and brownies every day of the week. Those are only special Friday things. Now, some ways to help speed up dinner, because I think this is the hardest one as a mom, because the evenings get very, very busy when the kids come home from school, and if you haven't already made dinner, you're probably not going to. You just run out of time. So one of the things I did for years was a food co-op. This is where several families all cooked for each other, and they would bring over dinner some nights, and only one day a week I would take dinner to them. So every night we were still getting a very healthy, well-balanced, home-cooked meal, and it's cheaper too to boot, but we were doing it in such a way that it wasn't taking all of my time and my energy to prepare that food. I've also heard of women that do where they cook like all at once, like they'll cook a whole month's worth of meals, like soups, and put them in the freezer, then you can just pull them out, put them in the crock pot or whatever. Something like that. And I think those are great ideas too. Anytime you can speed up the dinner time process, you're going to be more likely to do it and continue those healthy eating habits. Now, if you find yourself stuck in a rut and you just have to run for fast food, try to grab something a little bit healthier. Instead of running down to the local burger joint with the french fries and the milkshake, try running to the next closest sandwich place and picking up something that actually gives you some healthy calories instead of just a lot of fat. I hope these tips give you some ideas on how to implement healthy eating with your kids, and I'd love to hear what healthy snacks your children love, so leave a comment below telling me what their favorites are. If you have a question for me, be sure to tweet me at @themomsview, #MomMinute. Subscribe for more episodes, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye, guys.